Oh, hey kids, it's your good friend George here. Unfortunately, I was just puking out a bunch of Walmart salad here in my bathroom here in the future, a few days after this recording, where I've worked back to say I'm taking a week off from this one. I'll be back, though. Everything will be okay. I just had like one really bad week of George disease, that's all.
Hello, and welcome to Dad and Son.
Woo! Guess what? Daddy's gone.
This is a singular. Daddy is out of town. He's gone out for a pack of smokes, and we don't know when he's coming back.
He may not come back. Let's be honest.
He may not come back.
We're two bad kids.
George is sick. George has been eating too much. What is it? Gumbo. He's got like crab disease or something.
I feel like he gets sick a lot. He gets sick a lot. I think he eats a lot of garbage.
I think he does.
He consumes garbage through his eyes and his mouth. I think.
Usually he's okay, but he does quite frequently message us saying, "I'm feeling sick," and then it always is followed by the tagline, "I think it was something I ate."
Yep. Every time.
Seems to be his thing. And, which is more worrying, is that George tends to eat only his own cooking.
He's garbage too. Like he'll go down to like the city and just go to like some 24-hour garbage dumpster.
Like a raccoon. George the raccoon.
And I know what place it is. It's so greasy in there. It's so greasy in there.
I bet you love it as well. So Daddy's out. It's the Matt and Liam Power Hour.
Power Hour. I like
Power Hour. I'm stealing that from the Gang Grumps, I guess. But yeah, it's just us two. So if you don't like this episode, well, take it up with George.
So what are we doing? What
are we doing?
We don't have to talk about Ass Creed or any.
We don't have to talk about Rome. We don't have to talk about
Metal
Romans.
Gear Solid or anything like that.
We don't have to talk. We don't have to watch what we say about David Hayter anymore.
Yeah, that's right. Unless he edits this episode, then he's gonna cut all that out. Or exclusivity.
Yeah. I wonder, he probably will listen. It is kind of weird. It's like, Daddy's away, the boys will play. What can we get away with? But then he's going to mostly cut all of this out.
Yeah.
So
if you're hearing this, it slipped through. Because he was vomiting.
George is neglected to do his work. How's your week been, Matt?
It's been all right. I guess I got here, right? If you got to the end of the week, I think it's okay. You
survived.
Yeah.
You survived. The more news I read about the world makes me surprised how many episodes of Dad and Sons are actually getting through.
It's getting more and more dangerous, over here.
Everywhere. Like Japan and Korea are in a trade war. Hong Kong's going to shit. Everybody is like tripping over and shooting guns and shit.
Yeah, it's nuts.
UK's hired a literal lemon for a prime minister. It's all weird.
I'm just going to stay at home. I think staying at home, I might be able to dodge most of it.
Aren't you like trying to move house though?
Yeah, I am. So during the move, as long as the guy doesn't go to a U-Haul
or get naked.
Yeah, I'm good. I think I'm good. I'm surprised. This is a bad joke. This might get cut out. I'm surprised that there hasn't been a shooting at a DMV.
Oh, God. I imagine history has foretold that there are some statistics that has happened.
But the thing is, the DMV is horrible. It's horrible. How do you not get mad at the DMV? I went there.
So angry you start shooting everywhere.
I went there and they're like, "Oh, you're going to get charged another $100 on top of the $200 here in California because you didn't come within a month." And then all this bill of sale for your car and everything, you have to have that print out, and we're not going to print it out for you, so you have to come back.
Oh, that sounds like Japan. Fucking paper bureaucracy for the loss.
It's after 4 hours, though, and I had an appointment.
Oh, no. Did you take your Switch or something?
No.
Oh,
no, man.
God.
I just, sometimes you just want to go in there and just kind of relax and just, be in your own thoughts. But, yeah, next time I'm bringing the Switch. The Switch. Are you still playing?
I've really started to take my Switch just everywhere. I in the first like 2 years or so, only if I'd go on like big journeys would I actually take it with me. But man, now I take it everywhere. Like if I'm just going out to like a cafe or something by myself, I'll take Switch just in case. I'll play it for 10 minutes or something like that. It's pretty nifty.
Three Houses still grabbing your attention?
Yeah, man. I played like 30 hours of it now, which for me is like a year record, but I'm loving it. It's fastly becoming my favorite game this year so far.
I might have to give it a chance. Because No Man's Sky is getting their update.
Today, right?
Today.
As we're recording this. The big update, Beyond. Is it Beyond? I thought Beyond came out last year. There was another update last year.
I thought so
right?
too, but this is Beyond. I guess it was just information for Beyond.
Oh, okay.
Beyond
so this is like...
Because last time it was Next. Now it's Beyond.
Next. That was it. Right.
Adding
so this
VR
is like the big multiplayer
features.
VR thing.
Yeah. So the player count's going up. You got VR. You got like a whole bunch of features like base building and stuff like that getting bigger. I think there's some underwater stuff. Don't quote me on that. I remember seeing like footage of that.
Wasn't there always like underwater stuff anyway? But it was like mostly toxic waters that you couldn't really swim through for very long. I don't know. I've never played it.
There's pets now. You can farm pets. It's really interesting. I'm not interested in No Man's Sky, but with this big update, and especially it's free, so it's still the same price as it always is. Yeah, I don't know. I've been thinking about it. I'm like, people are throwing around like space Minecraft, and I was just like,
so
I don't know if I want that.
So do you already own the game?
No.
So you'd have to buy the game anyway.
I have to buy the game. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I gave it a try because my friend had GOG.
That turns me off a little bit, having to buy it. Well,
yeah, it's $30 right now.
Okay, so it's
on
pretty
sale.
cheap.
Yeah, I wouldn't do GOG because I heard some things got delayed on there. You don't want that. So just get it on Steam. Get it on Steam.
Delays for digital storefronts. That is
the weirdest thing.
Weird as hell.
Weird as hell. I guess because GOG is, you can. I don't know. You could just steal it, right? Like you could just it's DRM free.
DRM free. Well, some of them are, not all of them, right? I thought the developers had like the options to optionally do that.
Really?
I don't know. I'm not really sure how GOG works. I don't know much about it.
You might have to log into Galaxy in order to use the online features. You might still get the game, but you might,
It's kind of weird. Like we've seen games like. Especially, obviously, this year I'm absolutely loving Final Fantasy XIV. Games that have had this amazing rebirth from, like, disastrous beginnings. And it's not only amazing that No Man's Sky has...
76.
Well, yeah, we'll see about that. We'll see about that next E3 when Bethesda are like, 50 million players! We did it! We turned it around! Todd's wearing, like, 8 leather jackets to celebrate.
Oh, my God.
But it's amazing not only that they turned the game around to be a game that people actually enjoyed. I mean, I don't think it was a bad game to begin with. It was just one of those massively overhyped, completely sold down the river by PlayStation marketing, making it a bit bigger than it seemed to be, and then not turning out to match those lofty expectations. So turning that around into then being like a game that people actually really enjoyed, that kind of lived up to the promises, to then being like one of the biggest sellers on PlayStation and Steam, making millions of dollars, and now it turning into like almost like, one of those live games, like live service games, like Destiny and Anthem and those type of games where now it's just like rolling out updates and you can just keep playing forever. Now it's got multiplayer, you can play with your friends forever. It's super intriguing how it's turned out.
Yeah. I felt sad for Sean when he he got so hyped and he's like, oh no, we're not going to be able to deliver on any of this.
Oh no. If you haven't seen it, if you're interested, anybody who's listening to this who don't really know much, this year's GDC opened with a talk by Sean Murray, the founder of Hello Games, about all of the No Man's Sky disaster and like the rebirth and stuff like that. It's super good, super inspiring, super interesting. Really, really good stuff.
Ooh,
Still
man.
not
Yeah,
really
I
gonna
remember
play.
he's like, oh, so they asked me to talk, and I was like, huh? I was like, oh god.
He does seem
we're
quite
going deep.
stoned all of the time.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't know
he
whether he just works every hour of every day. He's so delirious. He doesn't really know where he is half the time, or he's baked all of the time.
He has that look that my friend's dad does. My friend's dad
yes,
is like
Matt's friend's dad.
Matt's friend's dad.
Right.
He ever since I was young in high school, his eyes have just been slits, you know, because he works all night. Right, so we'll see him after school, and he'll just be like, "Hey, how you doing?" or whatever. Like his eyes would be slits because he just works all the time,
Can't
and he'll
get
always
any
be
sunlight
calm.
into his eyes.
Yeah, always be calm, always.
Yeah,
And
docile.
I remember when he retired, and his eyes were open. It weirded me out. It's like, oh my god, did you get enough sleep? Like, what's going on?
Did you sleep more than 5 hours last night? I actually worry about how many hours I sleep. I don't sleep enough, yet I seem to not have any negative effects so far.
Oh my god.
Like weirdly off topic, which is definitely going to be the name of this episode. How many hours of sleep do you actually get, Matt? Like on average?
I would say 5, 6-ish, but I
Cool.
wake up a lot.
Okay, so we're in the same boat. I never wake up. I sleep, like, when I fall asleep, I go right through until when I wake up, but usually go to bed at, like, 2 a.m., wake up at 8 or earlier.
Yeah.
So 6 is, like, 5 to 6 is, like, my usual. Which I feel like for working professionals right now is probably the average.
Yeah.
Which is sad.
Especially if you want to have a social life at any point.
Yeah. And do stuff like this where you have to podcast until 2 a.m. in the morning. Mic drop.
Or you have to wake up early.
At 7 a.m. to do this podcast.
Jeez, we're like perfectly on the opposite ends.
We are, and George just sits terribly in the middle where he gets to wake up, have coffee, puke, and then it's 10 a.m.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, guys, how's it going? And we're both like,
It's like right at the edge, though. I guess if it was 6, then it'll probably be pretty bad.
yeah.
Pretty bad. To wake up at like 5 something, I'm like, oh no, this can't.
Pretty rough.
Can't do
The
this.
things we do for the dads, sons, mothers, and daughters out there. The things we do.
Oh my god! Don't do that. We do it because we love it.
Be grateful.
Oh my god! I haven't been playing a damn thing other than Crosscode, and so I've been
finished
looking
it?
for another game, and almost. I tried This War Is Mine.
Okay, yeah. That's quite old now,
And
right?
didn't-
A couple of years.
Yeah, it was on Epic for free, and I don't know if I like it. I don't know if it's my thing. I was like, oh, this is stressful. I don't know if I want to play this.
Did it teach you about the realities of war, though?
I don't know. Like, a game where it doesn't tell you anything. Like, it doesn't tell you anything. It's just like, I don't want to go over that hump. That learning curve is rough.
It can be tough.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure once you get into it, like, you kind of understand. But yeah.
Man, good tutorialization in video games is like a fucking art form. It's so hard to get it right.
Yeah.
A lot of games get it wrong. So
Or
many.
just
games.
don't tell you at all. And they say,
Yeah,
it's
they
part
go
of the
through the-
immersion. This is, you
Yeah,
got
part
to
of the
find. I
immersion
like
or-
that they don't handhold me. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
It depends on the game.
good for you guys, but I'd like to know what the button to move is.
Yeah. How do I open this door and you have to just press all the buttons on the keyboard?
Especially when you're playing on a keyboard. You're playing on a keyboard and you're like, it could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, or it could be Q, W, E, R, S, T, Y, U, I, O. Like, the control, you just mash the buttons until something happens.
So I've been continuing like going through all these like weird games that I've never finished, and I stumbled onto Mass Effect Andromeda, and
Oh my god, really?
and I looked up online. I was like, did they fix the issues or whatever? And I heard way back that they weren't going to fix everything, But then I saw some posts on Reddit. They're like, oh yeah, they fixed like most of the like game breaking stuff.
The animations and stuff like
Yeah.
that had like an overhaul, right? I think they improved it.
And it feels like you're playing a mess. I mean, it's not bad. It's not as bad as it was for sure. It's like a complete change.
It's just not that BioWare polish.
It doesn't have polish. Like still like things are not in the foreground that should be in the foreground or in the back. Like don't you know when you're holding up those invisible holographic, see-through holographic things that are like on their hand? It like it like sticks to their person and then blurs off the corner of the character model. It's
like
weird.
The orange things that go around their arms.
It's weird, and it's just stuff like that just happens. And then I like put up all the settings on Ultra, and that helped a little bit, but it was still a little, just a little off. The animations seem a little sticky, you know.
Okay.
And it sucks because the combat is so fun.
Yeah, is it good? Like I heard it was pretty good. There's a lot of like early Anthem based stuff, like the jetpacks and shooting from the air and stuff like that.
Yeah, back then I remember playing it throughout and getting like to like the third planet almost, and enjoying the combat. And that was like what was pushing me through. What made me stop was there was this moment where I had these two people following me, and all of a sudden they became best friends immediately. Like they've been on like multiple missions together. Like the first things that come out their mouth, oh man, I love the way you did. Like I was like, no, wait a minute, what? Wait, what? They started like almost getting together while they were with me, like immediately after he joined my party, and it was just the weirdest thing. The weirdest thing. Like I would have to show people who have played it know what I'm talking about. But the way they have the voiceover set up is just bad. It just breaks. It takes you out the immersion. But yeah, I don't know if I want to go through that again. I've been thinking about it, but I don't know. After playing the first beginning mission, I was like, I don't know. I remember why I don't play this game anymore.
It's weird because you started this conversation with like, I've not played anything, and yet you've played at least 3 games more than me.
Well, I've tried them. I've dabbled in them.
Okay.
I still haven't uninstalled Yakuza 0. It's just been sitting there. It's just been sitting there.
You just play it again.
I want to play it, but I just don't want to do the mini games anymore, and I just want to. I don't know. I guess I'm not feeling for it. I guess I'm very specific. You ever feel like you're very specific on what you want to play?
Like the type of mood you're in, you're like, I don't want to play anything but like an RPG. Like I want like a very specific this type of RPG with this type of battle system like right now, and I need it now. Like I actually had that feeling because of Evo. I was like, I really want to play a fighting game. Like Three Houses is like going off in the background of that kind of thing, and I was like, but I really just like. I just want to get it out of my system. Like I know I'm not going to stick with it for like a long time. I know it's just a phase, man. Like it'll come and it'll go, but I really just need to play like a fighting game right now.
Get that itch scratched, man.
Yeah, exactly. Just scratch the itch, pass on, and like move. So like I was browsing through some like of the Reset era threads and stuff like that, and they were like, "Has anybody been inspired to play fighting games because of Evo?" And I was like, "Yeah. How did you know?" And I was reading through threads of people like, you know, oh, I picked up Street Fighter on Steam and stuff like that, or this I picked up Blaze Blue or something like that. And then I realized, well, the thread had mentioned that Steam was actually having a sale associated with Evo. So, like, most of the games that were at Evo or in some way closely associated, so Dragon Ball FighterZ, Blaze Blue, Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, Soul Calibur, blah, 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 all of those games were on sale on Steam for, like, fairly cheap, like, big drops in prices, like 70%. So, for literally $9... I bought Guilty Gear.
Wow. Guilty Gear?
Yeah.
That does not seem like your game. Okay, let me hear.
It's weird because technically, like, as a fighting game, no, it's definitely not the type of game I would play because I'm terrible at that. Like, I'm not terrible at fighting games. I was really, really good at Marvel vs. Capcom 3, like, really good. And I was always pretty good at Street Fighter 4 and then Ultra Street Fighter 4 and blah, blah, blah. I didn't really pick up Street Fighter 5, but I was always pretty good at, like, those type of fighting games. Like Capcom's Fighters and games similar to that. But, like, BlazBlue was kind of like, I played a bit of BlazBlue and stuff, but my only memory was Guilty Gear X. That was, like, on the PlayStation 2.
Yeah.
And I always loved the look of it. Like, don't get me wrong, Arc Systems, of course, are magicians, right? And I knew about Guilty Gear Xrd 2, Revelate, whatever the hell the title is for the, like, 3 different games that are released for this one, like, entry. And, of course, the animation, everybody talks about the animation, which is this 3D anime style meant to look like 2D, which is absolutely glorious. So I picked it up for like $9. I have a Soul Calibur 4 fighting stick for PlayStation 3 that I forgot I had. So I busted that out and I installed it on my work PC. And I then did the mistake of realizing I work in almost an entirely Japanese office. So I had immediately like 4 people come to my desk who were like, Guilty Gear, natsukashi, yeah, suru onegaishimasu, like, let's play kind of feeling. And I was like, okay, yeah, cool.
Yeah, get ready,
cool,
dude.
This will be great. Dude, I got fucking destroyed. Like, not destroyed, just like, I think I got perfected 4 times.
Damn.
And these Japanese players, and they don't care about, like, taking any sympathy. They just play the game, and they win, or they don't win. For them, it's like, it doesn't matter. And, like, my friend Arioka-san was just absolutely destroying me. And so I went from wanting this itch to be scratched, to buying a game, to playing the game for 10 minutes,
Oof.
to then not wanting to play it again.
See, that's fighting games, man. That's why I just try to not go down that road. I know I suck. Yeah, I am good enough to beat noobs, right? Yeah. Because I just have tactics, but I can't do these combos, man.
See, like with Marvel vs. Capcom and Street Fighter 4, I could do like FADC cancels and stuff like that. With Marvel, I could do like infinite loops with like different characters like Magneto and stuff like that. So I have had training in the past, shall we say.
Yeah.
But with like Guilty Gear, it's all like jump cancels, and it's the same sort of problems I was having with Dragon Ball FighterZ last year. It's like you do like a certain combo, then you do like Roman cancels to like be able to do it again. Then you launch them into the air, and you have to like do a combo and then jump cancel, do a combo and then jump cancel. It's like I tried to do some of the training mode stuff and go through the combo list, but I'm just not gonna be good. I'm fine with being alright at Smash, but Guilty Gear, what a pretty game to look at, but I think I will forever suck at this.
I don't have the discipline. I bought a fighting stick and everything for Street Fighter. I wanted to be good. I wanted to learn Karen so badly. And I just didn't have the discipline then. Just didn't have it. I was like, okay, I might as well just sell this fighting stick. There's no point. I'll just stick to being like Party Boy Smash. You know, just comes in, probably won't get last place, but probably won't get first place.
Yeah. See,
there's always that like one guy that we invite that's just like really, really good. You know, that one guy at the party. And
you're like, for fuck's sakes, who invited Steve?
Yeah. Fuck Steve, man.
Fuck Steve. Yeah, Steve. We're talking about you, Steve. Are you listening?
Everyone tries to get Steve drunk, but Steve ends up playing better.
He played. I had a friend, Street Fighter 4 friend, who did that. You'd put like 16 shots of whiskey in him, and he would still be good. And you're like, when will you degrade? Degenerate already, please. But yeah, fighting games are fun for the most part.
Yeah, they're fun in the beginning when everyone's trash.
Yeah.
And then, it's just
when
like
everybody's
fighting
starting.
games are like Dark Souls. It's like fun in the beginning. Everyone's playing, there's that rush. And then later on, it's like you have to work for it. You can't just call in summons. You can't do any of that anymore, man.
You have to get good.
You gotta go inside training mode and start training.
Or you can just feel the hype by watching it on Twitch and watching tournaments and being like, yep, I can see why people love these games. Like, they are hype as fuck to watch.
Yeah,
and if you have some sort of comprehension about understanding what's happening, you're like, yeah, I could really enjoy this. But then you attempt to repeat any of it yourself, you're like,
nope.
Yeah, I can't do this.
It's doing it in training mode, then doing it on an online game, then doing it when there's just thousands of people watching you, and not messing
cool
up.
As ice.
Like that's a lot. Those are huge steps. Those are huge steps. Like, so I give it up to them. That's why I always enjoy, especially people who are goofy. While they're doing it, they're having a good time. Not the people are like
they
just
do
like
a taunt or something, and you're like, oh shit,
yeah.
the disrespect.
And then some people just can't do anything. They have to focus, and they're like, no,
headphones on, hoodie on,
which is fine. But sometimes I do like the goofballs. It makes it more interesting.
I always remember my favorite moment was there was a Street Fighter 4 player called Punko, and he was from South Korea.
Yeah.
Which, respectively, is why I haven't played any games this week, because I was in South Korea all this week. But he was from South Korea, and he played Seth in Street Fighter 4. And I can't remember what Evo it was. It must have been like 2012, 2013. But he got to like the semifinals, and he was kicking ass with Seth. And then like he just won a set and just like went crazy and like tore his shirt and stuff and just lost all sense of himself and went mad. It was amazing.
Damn.
He was a fun guy. Fun guy to watch. Punko.
Hey, so many good moments, especially the moments where people lose their shit.
Lose their shit. Or when like a guy
guys.
pops off and the other guy just won't shake his hand, you're like, oh, this is so good to watch.
Especially the Smash community has so many videos just montaging all this stuff.
Yeah.
Like GR Smash and all that. It's so fun to watch. Like even if you don't like Smash that much or don't play, it's so fun to watch. Because all you see is just reaction from people.
And Smash is great because it's one of those games, I think, that you can just watch without understanding what's happening anyway. Because it's like characters you're familiar with hitting each other. So it's
it's been around for ages.
Yeah.
You played it once, at least. Especially if you're listening to this show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, like, is there anyone listening to this that hasn't
played Smash? Get in contact.
Yeah.
dadandsonspodcast @gmail.com. Tell us your non-playing Smash stories.
They have to send an email?
Yes. To appease Daddy, because Daddy's not here.
This is the 90s, man. It's the 90s. It was the 90s when we were doing emails, right? The 90s.
I mean, just because you don't read them, Matt, doesn't mean they don't exist.
Wow.
Well, Matt.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Other than that, I was in South Korea all week, so I didn't play anything.
What food? Give me some food details.
So I didn't really get a chance to eat too much awesome Korean stuff this time, apart from the atypical, like, amazing Korean chicken, like, with beer, with huge tankards of beer. That was amazing. But the one meal we did get to eat that was, like, truly traditional Korean that was served to us in, like, the countryside of Busan in South Korea was, like, this local restaurant that was serving basically like huge pork shanks. I don't know how to describe it. You know, like a lamb shank, like big thick bones with meat on it, right? But it was like a pork version of that in a huge piping hot bowl. Like, and I'm talking like it's like a cauldron in size.
Oh my God.
And then inside of it is like this really beautiful, like spicy Korean meat soup that has like spinach and mushrooms and peppers and stuff all inside of it. And it's like all tangy and stuff. But then inside it, you have hiding underneath the broth this incredible like pork shanks, like Korean pork shanks. And the cauldron you're eating from is so big, you can have like 4 of these huge pork shanks inside of them.
Yeah.
So you sort of fish in it to like scoop out the bone with the meat on it, and then you scrape all the meat off the bone and you throw away the bone, and then you have like this wasabi meat sauce. It's kind of like a weird it was kind of like a yuzu, like a lemon sweet sauce mixed with wasabi. It was really clear. And like I'd never tasted it before, but like you were supposed to like dip your meat in it, like eat a bit of kimchi with it, and the sauce, man, was like the best thing I've tasted all year. It was so good. I don't even like wasabi, but it was so good. And then you're like just eating this massive pork shank and all this delicious tender meat with this sauce on the top of it, and you're like, oh my God, I could eat this every day. And it literally was like, as I said, like a cauldron in size, and it cost like $8. Cheaper than a copy of Guilty Gear, 70% off.
Oh, you're going to be thinking about that Guilty Gear for a while.
I know, I'm quite upset. But it was so tasty, and it was kind of the only like Korean meal I got to eat. I didn't eat any like dakgalbi this time.
Kimchi?
I got to eat kimchi with this meal, like, you know, traditional side plate kimchi and stuff, but no special kimchi like ramen or like cheese kimchi or anything this time. It's good shit though.
I gotta get over there and explore.
Sample the goods.
Sample the goods. Oh, man,
Other than that,
weird.
it was probably the hottest weather I have ever experienced in my life. I thought Japan was bad. Busan was on another level. It wasn't humid. It was just like
hot.
I think if I stand here, I would die. Like I would either like I would die of heat stroke for sure. It's like so oppressive and exhausting. It was rough. It was like the kind of weather where you do something for like an hour and you're like, I really just want to go home. And you're like, fuck, I'm on holiday. I paid for this shit. I need to continue. And then you're just absolutely exhausted by 5 p.m. and you don't want to do anything at night. And you're like, damn, way to kill my vibe, heat.
What the hell?
It was so bad.
I thought I didn't think it would be that hot. So, all right. So can you fry an egg on the corner?
Man, you probably like touching like anything remotely metallic was gonna burn you, hands down. Like was just gonna like immediately put blisters on you. It was ridiculous.
I don't
never felt heat like it before. Even living in Japan with the humidity sucks, right? But it's not like I'm gonna die. I'm really going to die. If I stay out in this.
I won't be going over there during the summer. That's for sure.
Yeah, probably not the best idea to go mid-August.
You went because of work?
No, I went over just like... We're currently, right now in Japan, is Obon, which is the summer... basically the summer holidays in Japan.
Yeah.
School's out anyway, but Obon is like the week where most companies close down and everybody at least gets 5 days off. Usually.
Wow.
So,
Japan.
Unfortunately, I did have to work a bit this week. But so last week, I took some time off to go to Korea because Korea is only an hour away from where Kansai, Japan, and then it's super cheap, easy to go over for like 3-day weekend, 4-day weekend. So went over. It was awesome. So it's Obon now in Japan. So everybody's off for the week. But there's a typhoon coming. You could probably hear the wind. So nobody can do anything. because you die outside in Japan as well.
Wow.
Asia, dude.
Oh my God. There's a typhoon coming.
Yeah.
Those words I've never heard before.
Oh man, living in Japan, there's like a typhoon every week. Everyone's like, "Oh, typhoon's coming." Oh, you're like, again?
Well, you just get swept away? Just go outside?
Well, it depends. Like you get different types, right? They get upgraded depending on how powerful they are. So, like the one that's coming towards Japan now, pretty mild one. Probably going to be pretty strong winds. Maybe like some roof tiles will get like shifted around or something. Probably nothing major. Like last year, there was some pretty strong typhoons. Whereas on the other hand, there was another typhoon that was coming from the same area, like of Southeast Asia, that went towards China instead of Japan. And that is like a fucking super typhoon. And like 14 million people in China have had to like evacuate their homes for fear of like 200-mile-per-hour winds or some nonsense.
What the hell?
So, yeah, typhoons come in varying degrees, and Japan gets tons of them during the summer because it's so hot.
I'll finally be able to get a kite up in my life.
Yeah, exactly.
Finally, I think it would be worth it to get out there.
Look on the bright side of everything.
Yeah, when I was young, I just could not fly a kite. Couldn't. Don't. I mean,
they have shit ton of kite festivals in Japan, so you'd love it.
Yeah. Get
you'd be
one of
great.
those big ones. I go to the beach now in California, and I see these guys doing tricks and stuff with their kites. And I'm like, what? What the hell? What the hell? Maybe it was a quality.
Do they have like
kite.
mountain boards on their feet and shit?
No.
Oh man, kite surfing was so good. And then
Mountain
mountain board
boards?
kite surfing. Yeah, people used to do it in like the UK on beaches all the time.
Oh, gotcha.
You know, like riding a mountain board,
Yeah.
like basically a skateboard that has all-terrain tires on it.
That's dope. To be able to control a kite to push you forward.
Yeah. So basically it's like windsurfing or wakeboarding. No, windsurfing, right? No. Which is the one you use like a kite to pull you along? Is it windsurfing?
I don't know.
Anyway, it's like land version
that
of
makes
that.
sense. You are surfing the wind, sort of.
Kind of, yeah. So basically you have the kite facing the opposite direction to the wind, so the wind gets caught underneath it forwards, and then it propels you forwards on the board, and then if you jump in the air, usually you'll go like a few, like 4 feet higher because of the aerodynamic of the kite. You get that pull off the ground.
That sounds like it's going to hit someone.
I mean, you have to be pretty careful. If you get hit by one of those dudes going pretty fast doing like fucking tricks and shit, yeah, you're going to get hit, I think.
Yeah. I've seen someone get hit with someone on the skateboard. That wasn't fun. That wasn't fun. And the boy, it was the girl, and the boyfriend was just like didn't know what to do. It's like, do I kill him or
do I snap his skateboard?
What do I do here?
She's like, kill him. He's like, whoa.
Yeah, it's like, okay, the guy mistakenly ran into my girlfriend. What do I like? What is the appropriate response for this? Do you act tough? Do you say, are you okay? And you make sure your girlfriend's okay. I think that's like the first response. But I don't even know. I guess it depends on the dude. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Just quietly walk away and then never come back.
Away from your girlfriend too. Just like, just walk away.
Just get up and start whistling.
Liam. Liam.
Just fading into the
She's
background.
on the floor.
Liam. Holding a knee. She's like crying. You're like, okay, I'm out.
You're right between the buildings, like Homer in the bush.
Yeah, exactly. Just whistling while you're doing it.
Our poor boyfriend skills. Thank you for listening to that. I think we need to take a break before we go any deeper into this subject.
Yeah, let's take a break and then come back.
Family counseling services helped me take back my life. Last year wasn't the best year for me. I lost my job. I was angry, frustrated, depressed. Pretty soon my husband and I weren't getting along. He was getting the brunt of my anger, and I knew we needed help. Family counseling services provided the support that we needed. FCS got me back to living a life I enjoy. And now I'm moving forward in life with a renewed spirit. Call Family Counseling Services today. Live your life moving forward.
Welcome back to Dad and Son.
Who is the dad?
Who is the son? A little easier. We've narrowed down your options. We eliminated the other contestant.
Yeah.
Now there's just two of us remain. It's like the Hunger Games, but me and Matt are actually like Katniss and the blonde guy nobody likes, and we survived together. But we had to eat. We had to eat George.
He didn't taste too good, to be honest.
I mean, he is a sickly boy.
You know, you are what you eat.
Gumbo. George is definitely gumbo. So, Matt, some would say we were unprepared for this episode.
Some would say.
And to them, I say, ha! We did a little bit of preparing 5 minutes before this episode, or at least I did anyway. Mm-hmm. So I thought we'd have a one-off news segment, because George will never let me do this again, called WWGD ? So usually you have the traditional WWJD ? Probably on a lot of bumper stickers in America.
You know, I was like, wait, for some reason, I was like, wait, are you doing a website? I'm like, what happened to the .com? And then,
can you imagine if I made a website 5 minutes before this as the first segment?
That's how tired my brain is. I was like, wait a minute, what? No, so, you're doing what would George do?
What would George do? Exactly. WWGD ? What would George do? Now, I thought it'd be funny, Matt. I found a bunch of hypothetical questions. Okay. So it's about people making hypothetical choices.
Oh boy. Oh,
Two
I'm
questions.
so ready. So ready for this. I
thought we'd go through some of these questions and base our answers on what would George do. I think we know George pretty well.
Yeah.
Like,
definitely.
In the grand scheme of everything, the amount of episodes we've done together, the amount of times we talk every week, at this point, I think everybody can gather. We know George pretty well. And you know George pretty spectacularly well.
Yeah.
So I feel like we're going to rely mostly on you for this, right?
Sounds good.
Let's see.
Sounds real good.
So I have a bunch of questions that are prefixed with "you are." So we're going to change that to "George is." And then we'll see how it goes. So the first one is George walking in a forest, and he found a black suitcase. Inside it holds $1 million and a piece of paper stained in blood with a single word: don't. Would George take the suitcase home or leave it?
He wouldn't take it home. If he were to take the suitcase, it would definitely be to the authorities.
It definitely would be to the police, wouldn't it?
He would not keep that money. He does not care.
I think as soon as George sees that bloodstained don't, George is not picking that up. George is like
leaving.
He's like, ooh, and he's running as fast as possible away from it. I don't think he'd run. He would trot slowly away.
To be honest, I don't know if he has that curiosity. If he sees like a suitcase, does he go towards it in general? Like, does he even?
He's quite inquisitive.
That?
I feel like the Roman emperor lizard brain of his would make him want to be intrigued by it.
Him being curious about something on the floor. Like, it's just so weird to me, that concept. You know? Oh, like, can you imagine George saying, "Oh, there's a suitcase over there. Let's go check it out." Like, can you hear that? I can't hear that.
Absolutely not. But if you and me would go check it out.
You might just walk over there instead, right? Not say anything.
So you and me, if it was the three of us, you and me would go check it out.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
then we would say to George, there's $1 million in here, but it has this bloodstained piece of paper that says don't.
Yeah, he'll start freaking out and
He'd freak out.
leave it. Yeah.
Leave it.
I
You'd be like, guys, we
would-
gotta go. Or we gotta call the police.
Yeah. I'll take a few bucks. You know what I'm saying? Take a few bucks.
Or you just take the letter. Leave the $1 million and just take the letter.
Oh my God! Don't.
Don't.
You gotta. I mean, there's gotta be cameras or something.
Maybe, yeah. Or just
Come
somebody
on.
trying to scare you away from it who dropped it in a hurry as they'd been shot
But
by
they had enough
other
time
criminals.
to write don't.
Maybe. I mean, don't is pretty short. Do not would be a bit too formal, I think.
Don't
Let's go
touch
to
my
the next
money,
one.
Phil. Like, this is a case of $1 million. Like, say what you want about money and happiness, but money is money. You kind of need
$1
money
million.
to go around.
I mean, $1 million would be pretty sweet.
Yeah. Invest, and that's it. You good. Just be smart with it.
Invest in Dad and Sons Industries.
Yes.
Do it.
We're gonna-
Look at the great content you're being provided with.
and it just doesn't sustain itself. I'm just like wasting money on like
It's basically an Ouroboros that's just eating itself constantly.
like it'll eventually be Snake, that game.
Yeah, exactly. We'd be like David Hayter. George is not here. We can say what we want.
You brought it back. Oh man.
Next, number 2.
Yeah.
If George could really sell his soul to the devil, what would he sell it for?
If he actually, let's just say he does this.
Let's say he does, because George would not sell his soul.
He would not.
He would not.
So, it would have to be like something practical, like something he needs.
Like a new bike.
Maybe he might go bigger. He might go bigger because it's the devil, right? Like the devil should be able to.
Would he, like, right now go for, like, a fully realized Rome from, like, the era?
You think he will go that big?
I mean, if we really had to force him to sell his soul for something, I feel like he would go big.
Sell your soul, George.
Do it, George. Sell your soul.
The devil's right there. You gonna keep him waiting? Just sell it.
Yeah, don't be rude.
Sign the agreements, man.
Yeah. Frying did it for
Everyone does
worse.
it.
Frying did it for robot hands. Great episode of Futurama, by the way.
You know, I never
Yeah, I
got
don't
into that. Yeah, he
Really
might
sharp
surprise us.
knives.
You know what? Oh, a good kitchen.
A good kitchen. Yeah. Oh, his own restaurant.
I feel like it would be something practical like that. Maybe a bigger condo with a nice kitchen in it. You know?
Yeah, I think so. I think maybe he'd be modest. Like, if he's gonna dream big, then he would go, like, full Rome, maybe. But if he's
Rome
being modest.
design, house. Yeah.
Yeah, Rome with a kitchen. Okay, next question. If George was really a robot, would he want to know?
No. That would definitely break him. They'll definitely break him. What? No.
Like, wait, what?
I mean, all these things don't matter.
Like, everybody listening to this knows how complex George's brain thinks about everything. Like, the layers of depth he goes to on the most
and
innocuous of topics.
it's consistent and it's clean every time.
Yeah.
That would be. I don't know if he would correct it. I feel like he would break.
Because even if he was a robot and you told him he was, I don't think he would ever truly believe it.
Yeah. He'll probably be quiet. Like every time you say something to him that he disagrees with it, but he likes you as a friend and he doesn't want to hurt your feelings, he just stays quiet.
He does.
This is probably what he would do he will just stay quiet. I'm like, oh, okay, my friend is going crazy.
About himself.
I still, enjoy his company, but I'm just not going to tell him that he's crazy. Hey, George, let me cut you so I can.
Let me see your
with your
robot
sharp
skin.
knives from the devil, so you can see what's under your skin.
Let's boil some of your metallic parts. So if George got to choose between 50 years of being incredibly happy or to live forever and be unhappy, what would George choose?
I think 50.
I think 50 as well.
Yeah.
I don't think George would want to live forever, even if it was incredibly happy.
Yeah, I think he'd rather die.
I think so too.
That sounded so
It's
bad.
sad, but I think
I think a lot of people would rather take the 50 years.
Yeah.
Incredibly
Wait,
happy.
does it start from your age now, or is it like you have to start again?
I wonder if you start again.
And you definitely die at 50. That means you'd have like 6 years of being an incredibly happy teenager, which could change like your whole life.
I guess what you got to think about is why would you be unhappy and why would you be happy? Are things going to be happening in your life that would make you happy? Are you going to have good luck that make you happy, and you're going to have bad luck the entire time you're alive?
Yeah, exactly. Like, how does it define that you would be unhappy all the time?
Yeah, I guess you're not supposed to think too deeply about the question.
But George absolutely would. That's why we have to do it.
Yeah. So he'll probably do 50 though. Because we'll say, oh, it's a simple question. It's just like trying to get to know someone question. Are you like, did you put in like that the date question, how to get to know someone better? And those questions popped up. Is that what you put into the Google?
No,
search?
it's from a website called mantelligence.com.
Mantelligence. I haven't heard that one. Where do these websites come from? I'm pretty sure some of these are owned by the same person, and they all have ads on it, and that's how they make their money.
I have no idea. Probably.
This internet psychology BS everywhere. Yeah. No, next one.
Would George rather be a deep sea diver or an astronaut? What'd you reckon? He'd be terrified of both.
I feel like I'm a little biased because obviously I would be an astronaut. Absolutely.
Yeah, I would be an astronaut as well.
I don't know. I think it has to be with whatever he's interested in the most.
I mean, he played a lot of Subnautica.
Yeah, he did.
Like, that was one of his favorite games of last year.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like maybe the scuba diving thing.
Maybe. I don't know.
We should have a follow-up episode where we ask him the same questions and see how close our answers were.
Yeah.
You just find out how completely on the money we were with every single one of them. So if George was president of the United States,
whoa,
what would George do on his first day?
It would be something serious. That's a serious question. It would be something serious. I mean, he would take away guns. He could do that. He would do a lot of stuff. Yeah.
He would go down as like the president who did the most things on that first day ever.
Yeah. He has so many opinions that none of you know. good ones. They're good ones. He's not crazy or anything like that.
He's a very kind-hearted person, but he gets twisted up in his own head sometimes about how to approach it.
Yeah,
but he's very good-natured. So as a president, he'd be like trying to do all those things because he's kind-hearted, but his deep understanding of how the like Congress system works and the House of Representatives or whatever the fuck your system is, like he'd be like, but we can't do this because this will block this, and he would have like a complete understanding
plan
of what would be blocked by what. Yeah.
If that's his life and that's what he focused on, that would be dope to see. I mean, I don't know if he would be a good president, but it would be dope to see.
I think we could do worse. than George.
Yeah, we could do worse. I mean,
We're doing worse now.
Anyways.
If George could have complete knowledge of any 5 things, what would George want to know?
Oh, that list I do not
Rome.
know. It always changes. Right now it's Rome. So
It's Rome.
And it would be on the list because he's fascinated by it and it won't stop. It won't stop.
He's obsessed. He's like a child.
What was the last one he was obsessed with? Japan?
It was another historical
Japan?
thing. It might have been Japan. He did the Soul Calibur video, didn't he? The historical... Was it Greek? Oh, no, that's like... Yeah, Rome, Greek.
History would be on it.
It is always something history. But now it's Rome.
It's
Rome,
just 3 things, right? It's not like
cycling.
a specific thing, right? It's 3 things?
Yeah, no, it's
so
five
history
things. So
would
it'd
be
like,
one, for sure.
Yeah, history, like every piece of history ever. Cycling, cooking, how to cheat the YouTube algorithm.
Yeah. YouTube. It's always a
Not
scary
that George
thing for him.
cares for that.
I mean, it's a scary thing for every YouTuber. That YouTube will just eventually just die out, and how it's kind of killing some channels. Sort of, But, yeah. It definitely.
I don't know what else he
cooking.
choose.
Definitely cooking and history. I agree with you. Cycling would be interesting to see.
Yeah.
Like, would he be
He
able
does
to
like
do
cycling.
pop a wheelie or something like that? Like that's what he wants to know.
George popping a wheelie.
Pop a wheelie. Yeah. Oh,
Smash, so he could actually beat us at it.
Oh, that would be like his 5th one. Like, I should just use this just to always win at this game.
Just so I can beat those two. Smash.
Yeah. He has a competitive edge.
He definitely does. Like surprisingly so.
Sharp sword. Mm-hmm.
Like when we played Soul Calibur as well, he was surprisingly upset.
Yes.
It was funny. It was funny.
It's hard not to take it in a joking manner, but...
Because it's George.
I don't know if he's joking. He's
and
mad.
he makes the same noises that you would expect he would make.
Yes.
It's brilliant. So, a couple more, and then we'll stop crucifying George.
Yeah.
If George died...
Oh, no.
And he's given the choice between finding out what is next or staying on Earth as a ghost to wander the planet alone for eternity, which would he choose?
Ghost, dude.
You think George would want to linger around?
What happens next? The Abyss. No.
He's trying to find out which host we replaced him with.
Oh, God. He'll be like wandering, gathering more history and stuff. Like, he's like, like the first thing is like all the gross things you can do as a ghost. He's like, no, I'm gonna do like something productive. I'm gonna see what Trump's doing right now.
I'm gonna go to a library. I'm gonna go to a library and hover over the shoulder of some history student who's reading a textbook about Romans.
Oh my God.
He would come to us and he would come to find out who the new podcast host is. And he'd be like waiting and watching. And then we'd be like, introducing our new podcast host, David Hayter.
Oh. What's up, guys?
It's George here.
Like, David, man, you're not a good voice actor, man. What's up? You're not sounding like George. You're just sounding like Snake, man. Come on, like we'll leave all that in. We won't cut it out. Come on.
Yeah,
man.
true. George is not going to get to this part. He will have already gone into Discord to complain at us about this by now.
Yeah. Guys!
We truly do love him so much.
Yeah.
If George could buy any existing .com domain name, what would it be? I feel like Curious George would be one that he would tickle himself for a while with.
It would have to be something outrageous, like something that would make him giggle for like...
Romans are us.
Just giggle for hours and hours, and eventually just forget about it, and then a month later see it again and giggle about it. It'll probably be something like that. I don't know. I don't know. Because it wouldn't be anything like a smart decision. It would be a joke. I think this one he would do a garbage thing with, like a garbage name, just for the kicks.
He probably would waste it, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Because he's not going to make a website. He would just buy the domain name.
I'll get around to it. He's like,
He's like, guys, I just bought this domain name. I'm going to build a website, and just never build it.
It's like, oh, I should tell George about Demon Slayer. Nah, never mind. He won't make it 19 episodes. Yeah, I started it.
He won't even make one episode.
Yeah.
I saw the the video of like whatever the most recent episode was going around on Twitter because it's so well animated.
Yeah.
And I was like, shit, I need to watch this series.
Yeah, dude. I'm a sucker for good animation. So, when they actually spend time with a series and animate something properly,
Yeah.
Well, not properly, but like smooth. They don't cut corners because
like
sometimes they have to cut corners. But
yeah,
I don't like that. Sorry, I like Attack on Titan animations. That's the whole reason I watch Attack on Titan. I'm like, yeah, sure, the story's cool. I want to see what's in the basement, but the animations are sick.
Wait, haven't they got to that part now?
Huh?
Haven't they got to the part where they found out what's in the basement?
They have?
Supposedly, yeah, season 3, right?
Oh, maybe I need to catch up.
I think you need to catch up.
Oh,
or maybe it's the manga. I'm not really sure.
The manga did. I think like last year or so.
Okay, so maybe the manga did recently. And like somebody told me what it was and I was like, whoa.
Okay. God dang it.
So maybe you should.
Season 4 watch. It's not going to be season 3. I'm going to watch it though. I'm going to see if I didn't finish it. I feel like I did, but if I didn't, then I'm going to try it out. See what happens. see what happens. They're still on the field. They're still doing the same damn thing. It's like watching Naruto or something.
Okay. And the last one, which is a framed question about your job or your relationship, but I'm gonna change it to, what do you reckon George would give up? His YouTube channel or the podcast?
Podcast.
So easy.
I feel like he would pause for at least a second.
I don't even think he would pause. I feel like, and this is entirely honest, I feel like George would give up the podcast because he knows financially that's not a good idea, right?
Right.
But he would prefer, if there were no stakes on the line, I think he would prefer to give up YouTube.
He would, yeah. If this podcast made money...
If this podcast wasn't a waste of time for all of us.
Because this is like a Patreon like spin-off thing, for the Patreon folks. And so, yeah, if it was actually like the main source of income, then I think he would,
everybody would be super angry at you and me.
Yeah.
It would fall upon you and me.
I can't believe this.
What is happening? Those two stupid idiots in that one-off episode they did. Why would anybody listen to this?
I'm trying not to say anything. we did get some of that in the beginning. Yeah,
we did a little bit.
A little bit. Not too much. Not too much.
Well, I guess we'll take one more break, an extra double break, and then we'll answer some lovely dad and sons, mothers and daughters questions before we leave. There's no news this week because we're having a treat day. No George means no homework.
I didn't think our marriage would survive.
It was really awful. Both of us kept everything pent up until one of us would just explode.
Hey, stupid! What kind of a meal was that? You had... Then we discovered Tekken 3.
This is for 40 years of macaroni and cheese.
That's for never saying I'm sorry.
And this is for your mother.
That's for the loser that you are, Patrick. Thank you, Tekken 3. PlayStation.
And welcome back once again to the
Yes.
Dad and Son episode
Dad and Son.
of the show.
Yeah.
If you didn't realize by now, George is not here. That's why we got away with the last hour. But in true traditional spirit, we should answer some questions. As always, if you would like to send us a question, please send them on to dadandsonspodcast@gmail.com. We do read all of them. Not Matt, but we do read all of them.
I'm always getting shitted on it. All right.
I mean, you don't read the emails.
This
I mean, you listen to the emails right now.
I do.
That's it.
I do read.
That's
the
technically
emails. Yeah.
You do.
Yeah.
This is news to me. So there you go. Doubly confirmed that we do read your emails. So send them along to dadandsonspodcast@gmail.com. Remember, next week, back to regular scheduling. George hopefully not sick or dying from gumbo. The Twitter segment will be back. And it'll be Matt's turn. So it'll all be good. But this week, we have a question from Frederick Schnedel. Or Fred S. Seems he's messaged us before. So he says, summer just made a comeback here, and it's going for 40 degrees Celsius or 100 plus Fahrenheit. It's times like these that make me want to quench my thirst with a good milkshake. But a good milkshake needs company, and burgers are good company. What's your favorite kind of burger? Matt, I feel like this is a pretty good one for you and me to answer.
Favorite burger? I guess it would be a place, right? It doesn't really matter about like what's in between the buns.
Well, I don't know. You could have certain burgers from certain places. Like,
Yeah.
recently, Shake Shack here in Japan have like a barbecue onion burger.
Yeah.
Like a barbecue burger that has crispy onions on it. That is a pretty damn good burger.
You know, I didn't get a chance to taste a lot of those restaurant quality burgers. When I
Like
was
gourmet
eating,
burgers, as they're called.
Yeah, when I was eating meat. I did try like Five Guys and stuff, and it was like this greasy mess. And I remember really enjoying how like it melts together. But I'm pretty sure that's
Melts
not the top.
in your mouth.
That's definitely not the top. Because there's some like really good restaurant
So-
burgers over here. But right now, from what I eat right now, there's this place called Plant Power in Riverside in California, in Redlands. And
Such a Californian name for a restaurant.
yeah, Plant Power, and it's a nice restaurant.
Plant
It's in
Power.
a nicer area in Riverside, and you go in, and they have fast food vegan stuff, and their milkshakes are bomb, and they have this called I think it's called the Zaddy. I think it's called the Zaddy, or I'm thinking about
Zaddy.
I might be thinking about a term. A term about a zaddy. I don't think that's what it's called. Never mind. I think a zaddy is a hot guy that doesn't have a kid. Yeah, a zaddy.
Oh.
Yeah.
A zaddy.
A zaddy. Yeah, it's a Big Mac. With a sauce and everything, but it's vegan, and it's phenomenal. It's the best vegan burger I've ever tasted.
So is it like that vegan meat type thing?
Yeah, I don't know what they do because it's not the Impossible Burger or anything like that. Because I don't really like the Impossible Burger or Beyond Burger. Like mostly restaurants just heat it up, and sometimes they even use the same grill. Like, so it's just like doesn't matter. But yeah, it's.
Do you not mind contaminated burgers?
No, I don't. I do mind.
Like contaminated veggie
mind.
burgers if they got like a...
I do
Oh,
mind.
you do mind.
That's why I mostly cook my own food. And I'm okay with that.
Ah,
It's cheaper
okay.
anyway. Yeah. And then I go sometimes.
It definitely
to
is
some of these
cheaper.
places. Yeah.
I wish I had that good habit.
I mean, meal prep, I'm terrible. I am terrible at like meal prep and stuff, but I should do it. I really should.
I'm abysmal at cooking in general. I rarely do it.
I mean, go to the Konbini, you know.
Yeah, I know. It's so easy in Japan. It's just like, go to the Konbini. Oh, great. I can get like some pretty good spaghetti bolognese or like udon or ramen or chicken curry. It's like, it cost me $3. Why would I ever cook? Oh, that's right. I'm fat. Fuck.
What is your favorite burger?
Japan is going through a weird phase, especially here in Kyoto, where like burger shops are popping up like every week. So
Damn.
Shake Shack opened up here in like Japan like 2 years ago in Osaka and Tokyo, and now Kyoto has got one this year that's opened up, and Shake Shack is pretty good. I mean, as I said, the barbecue crispy onion burger they're doing right now like is pretty good. There's a place in Kyoto called Up It Burger, and they have like their own like bacon cheeseburger with onion rings on it and stuff, and it's like using Japanese beef. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I can't really say, you know, like in America you'd probably say like In-N-Out or like Carl's Jr. or like whatever the other places are, like Five Guys or whatever, right? Like you have that kind of rivalry depending on where you come from, West Coast, East Coast, whatever.
Yeah.
In Japan it's just like, wow, we got a Shake Shack.
Damn.
Now we can eat burgers.
That's it. I mean,
so you can't be that picky. There's a lot of gourmet places, like you said, like restaurant burger type places. There's a load of them here in Japan.
yeah, I think that's the places to go. Like that's fast food at that point. Like going to Sonic and In-N-Out and stuff. You know.
Yeah.
That's Jack in the Box with their weird
Jack in the Box.
Jack in the Box. Yeah.
America has a fast food problem for sure.
That Jack in the Box just makes me think about, you know, Justin Timberlake, Dick in a Box.
Dick in a box. So moving on to the next question, before we call it quits for today, and you can go back to hoping George is still alive. Mm-hmm. This comes from Tristan McClellan. I hope that's your name. First topic. Since George is interested in replaying mediocre games like Total War 2, was there any game that is mediocre that kept you wanting to keep playing? And what about the game made you want to keep playing? So was there a mediocre game that you just played to the end? Final Fantasy 15, Matt. And why? Why did you keep playing it until the end?
I guess because I've answered this with like Sacred 2 and stuff like that before, and maybe Too Human, but recently it would be Final Fantasy 15 and Ni no Kuni 2. Like those were mediocre games for sure. They weren't necessarily bad, but they weren't
bad
good.
Games. Yeah,
they weren't like great games, should I say? You know, some people can still say like, "Oh, I really love Ni no Kuni 2," and that would be okay because it's not a bad game. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's objectively not a bad game, right?
Yeah. I mean, I guess game reviews has been like, "Oh, you have to compare it to everything else that's out right now." So yeah, it was a really slow day.
We do live in a market now where games come out every week, so it is kind of understandable how that sort of creeps into every review now. I mean, like Fire Emblem's just come out, and then Astral Chain is coming out, and then Dragon Quest is coming out. It's like, yeah, I guess RPGs, big Japanese games, you would compare them, that kind of thing.
Yeah, like, oh, what should you spend your money on right now?
Yeah, kind of feeling.
Yeah, I would say those. Why I kept playing? Because I didn't want to leave it halfway finished. I'm trying not to do that. I've always tried to do that. When I was younger, I had more time. I made sure I finished every game. As I got older, and I don't have as much time anymore. You know, if a game hits me hard and it's with the same thing or some repetitive gameplay or some grinding, I tend to pause a bit. And I try to finish it if I don't finish it within like a week or two, I might drop the game. So I have to push myself to finish it.
I am like, you have been like specifically very much on a roll this year. Like you have been finishing like an average of like 2 games every week, which is insane.
No.
Recently,
1 game a week. It was 1 game a week.
well, even that to me, like when I finish a game now, like within the past like 4 years or so, when I finish a game, I feel like I fucking won a world record. I rarely finish games. I'm doing better this year, like pushing through all the Final Fantasy 14 stuff has really taught me about sticking with games to get to good parts again. Like I kind of lost that. I was like, maybe if a game is mediocre, I will literally just drop it. Now there are too many games out there that I just don't have that time. So I have very much been living with the philosophy of if game's mediocre and I'm not enjoying it, I'm not wasting my time.
Yeah.
Just I need my time respected by games, and it's no fault of the games because maybe necessarily the game gets a lot better later on, which is totally fair in some cases. Games start strong, get weaker towards the end. Some games start off weak but get great towards the end.
When you get a certain power up that they took away because of nonsense. Yeah.
But I have definitely been trying to push myself to play more and just stick with a game and not get distracted by other games for sure recently. But I feel like the only game I've played in recent memory that was mediocre to me that I did push through to the end, and it was only because I knew it was short, was Katana Zero. And I know a lot of people didn't like that we didn't really like it, but it wasn't a bad game and it's a really good looking game and all this kind of stuff. But yeah, for me, that game was probably mediocre at best, and I still finished it because I knew it was short, so I pushed through to the end. The reason I kept playing it, probably because the game looks really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Recent memory, that's it.
Yeah, I mean, we were pretty harsh. We said a lot of negatives.
We did say a lot
you're
of
not
negatives.
wrong, though. Like, I don't remember Katana Zero. I mean, I don't remember a lot of games, but like...
That's old age, dude.
Yeah, I mean,
I remember
still
fucking
remember
3
Hollow
houses.
Knight. When I think games, Hollow Knight, or in the Blind Forest, like in the Blind Forest and the Blind Forest.
Can't even remember the
I am
name,
getting
let alone the
old.
game.
Yeah, and yeah. So I still remember some stuff that just like left an impact.
I remember like Resident Evil 2 and Devil May Cry 5, Into the Breach, like all these games I played in recent memory.
See,
But there were
Into the
games like
Breach,
Valkyria.
Like when I'm looking for games, it's on every list, and you guys say it every time you talk about games.
Fucking play it, dude.
I don't
Do
want
it.
that type of strategy game. Too much work.
Well, play Fire Emblem then instead. It's easier.
I do like Fire Emblem.
And you probably like all the character stuff a bit better.
Yeah, I really
Like you
wanna
played
play-
Persona.
Yeah, I
so
really want
I
to play
think
Persona, but I feel like that would take me too long with my current like free time.
maybe.
Yeah,
Fire
I still
Emblem
haven't played a
also
new
takes
game,
time.
and it's been like 3 weeks. So
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see.
Valkyria Chronicles
No.
4. That was another one that was mediocre, but I didn't finish it. But I played like
that?
no, I didn't push through it. That game's way too long. But I did play like a good fucking 25 to 30 hours of it,
Yeah, I have it on my Steam.
and that was mediocre at best.
every time I want to play it. But it is, the look of it is boring.
I
It's
like
just,
the look.
you like the look? It's
No,
just,
yeah, I like the art style. It's very clear and clean. It's a game that has a lot going on, so it needs to be able to convey what's happening in a simple way. I like it.
it's very brown. Very brown.
It's very brown, but it's World War II. Like, what do you expect? It's like anime World War II. It's green and brown. World War II was mostly just brown.
Yeah, I mean, together with like the voice acting and stuff, it's just like, okay. I'm like nodding off. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe when I'm in the mood. I feel like I have to play that game. Even though it's mediocre.
No, play Into the Breach instead. Jesus Christ.
No. Like one day I'll play that game. When I'm
Okay.
feeling like playing
Well,
like
we'll see.
some garbage, you know.
I truly do think like supporting devs, as I've mentioned many a time, is great. Do that. But if a game isn't respecting your time and you want to play something else, just go play something else.
Yeah.
If you've spent the money and you're happy to just move on, that's fine. It's your money. It's your time. But if you're as powerful as Matt, if you have dark sorcery like Pony over there, and you can play through a game, mad respect to you.
Mad respect.
Respect. Because I can't do that. George tries, but then George can't consume any piece of media. He just stays with the same things. Oh, George, we miss you. We look forward to you being back next week. And with that, Matt,
Yeah.
I guess this little weird one-off episode is over.
It is. I'm gonna miss it. I'm
gonna miss it.
Yeah.
This is a brief, fleeting moment for us.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully everybody listening or is still here, like the three guys and Steve who are still here listening.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for listening to this episode. Hope you enjoyed it. We should be back next week. Unless George died.
Oh.